I want to make the following communication. Honorable members, we meet this morning under a somber cloud that hangs heavy on our nation. You will recall that I did invoke Standing Order Number 1 to adjourn the morning sitting of this House yesterday, a decision that resonated with the anxious solemnity that gripped the country as news broke of the passing on of one of Kenya's greatest sons. Honorable members, as confirmed by His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, the nation is in a mourning following the death of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, EGH, the second Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. The Right Honorable Raila Odinga passed away yesterday, Wednesday, 15th October 2025, while undergoing treatment in India. Honorable members, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga was born on 7th January 1945 to the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga and the late Mama Juma Odinga in Maseno, Kisumu County. He was a son of Kenya's first Vice President, and from his earliest years, he was shaped by the spirit of courage, conviction, and compassion that would later define his life. He was educated in Kenya and Germany, where he earned a master's degree in mechanical engineering, a foundation that spoke to his sharp intellect and practical vision. On returning home, he lectured at the University of Nairobi and founded the East African Spectre Limited, an enterprise that reflected his belief that Africans could build and own their own future. When multi-party democracy was finally restored in Kenya, he became a central figure in shaping the nation's modern political history. From his election as a Member of Parliament for Langata constituency in 1992 to his leadership in the government and opposition, he embodied resilience and an abiding faith in the will of the people. Honorable members, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga was a reformer whose fingerprints are on every chapter of Kenya's democratic evolution. He played a pivotal role in the push for constitutional reform, chaired key parliamentary committees, and stood at the forefront of the conversations that eventually birthed the Constitution of Kenya 2010, our living testament to shared governance, freedom, and devolution. As a Minister for Roads, Public Works, and Housing, he championed infrastructure projects that reshaped our country, the expansion of major highways, the planning of the Lapsset Corridor, and the bold reclamation of public spaces long lost to impunity and land grabbing. Honorable members, as Prime Minister in the Grand Coalition Government, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga steered national reconciliation after the 2007-2008 post-election violence, working alongside the late President Mwai Kibaki to rebuild a nation torn by grief. As a principal in the eventual Grand Coalition Government, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and His Excellency Mwai Kibaki appointed a team comprising His Excellency President William Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi, James Orengo, Professor Sam Ongeri, Martha Karua, Sally Kosgei, the late Mutula Kilonzo, and yours truly, Moses Wetangula, to join the former UN Secretary General, His Excellency Kofi Annan, Benjamin Mkapa, the late former President of Tanzania, and Mama Grace Machel, the former First Lady of Mozambique and South Africa, to negotiate on bringing the country back to normalcy. His commitment to unity and justice did not end at our borders. As the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development, he continued to serve the continent with same energy and vision that defined his public life. Honorable members, even in moments of political contest, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga often chose peace over power. This was demonstrated in the year 2007, 2013, 2017, and 2022 elections when he put the stability of this nation above personal ambition, demonstrating time and again that leadership is not only about winning, but about holding our nation together. He was a man of the people, known to millions simply as Agwambo, Baba, Jacom, Tinga, and many other acronyms, just to name but a few. He walked with the mighty and the humble alike. He inspired courage, provoked thought, and carried with him the stubborn hope that Kenya could always be better than her past. Honorable members, as we remember this towering freedom fighter, patriot, and statesman, we also remember the tenderness behind the fire, the laughter behind the struggle, and the humanity behind the politics. He was a life that reminded us that conviction and compassion can walk hand in hand. I can go on and on and on, for there is so much that can be said about this great statesman, but I opt to pause at this moment. And therefore, honorable members, on behalf of the National Assembly, the Parliamentary Service Commission, and indeed on my own behalf, I extend our deepest condolences to the family of the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, specifically Mama Ida and the children, Rosemary, Junior, and Winnie, and our colleagues, Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga and Honorable Ruth Odinga Busia, to his friends, and to all Kenyans who mourn this father of the nation. Honorable members wishing to pay their respects may do so in the course of the day today. In the meantime, you approved an exceptional motion co-sponsored by the leaders of the majority party and the minority party to enable this House record its tributes to our departed former Prime Minister. In line with the presidential proclamation that the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga has be accorded a state funeral, necessary arrangements have been put in place to ensure that this will be done in a manner befitting his stature. As a matter of fact, His Excellency the President, in consultation with the family, has set up a planning committee headed by His Excellency the Deputy President and Senator Dr. Oburu Oginga to coordinate all necessary arrangements. The committee will keep the country updated as appropriate. Honorable members, later in the day, the body which has already touched down at JKIA will be brought to Parliament to lie in state from noon until 5. Within that period, members of the public who are already queuing in their thousands out there will be milling through to pay their respects. The House will continue its sittings for you to eulogize the fallen leader, but members will be at liberty from time to time to step out, to go and pay your respects, view the body, and come back to continue with our debate. His Excellency the President will be arriving in Parliament at around midday to join us, a few of us, in receiving the body. The House will continue until we break for lunch, resume at 2:30, and debate until midnight or until the last member who wishes to speak speaks, whichever comes earlier. We will, in the course of the day, be advising you as we go along. We'll have many visitors within Parliament, be good hosts. There'll be cabinet members, there'll be military and service commanders, there'll be diplomats coming to Parliament to pay their respects and play, as you always play, as good hosts. Equally important, tomorrow there will be a state funeral conducted at Nyayo Stadium. I've instructed the clerk and the protocol teams of Parliament to ensure that there is enough space for members of Parliament to get seats at the stadium so that you can be part and parcel of the national mourning team. Thereafter, the body will be taken to Kisumu. Some members, numbering about 60, have requested to be assisted to fly to Kisumu. I've instructed the clerk to do so. Members who want to do so can record your names with the office of the clerk. You will be taken for the funeral on Sunday and be brought back. Those who want to come back on their own, you are free to do so that we can be part of this process. The Honorable Raila, if you were not close to him, was a man who begrudged nobody, was a man who stood head and shoulders above the clouds of politics, was a man who interacted with everybody. You are truly here, and those of you who love football, always sat together with the Honorable Raila watching Arsenal, which was our team, and a team that he loved so much. When Arsenal was playing, Honorable Raila would not talk to anybody until the match is over. He will pay military attention to the game, and he would count all the players up to the subs. Arsenal was in his blood like it is in mine. And I'm told Jacko Wamboka has also Arsenal in his blood. So we have lost a great man. We have lost a great statesman. In the debate we are going to have, once I finish this, I'll invite Owen Bayer to move the motion. The leadership on this side, I'm told Gisairo will second the motion. No theatrics, no side shows. We're honoring a great man. Let's not use this moment to settle unhelpful and irrelevant political scores. Let's use this moment to honor a man who fought viciously like a buffalo and immediately made peace like an antelope with all the people he fought with. Whoever imagined the Right Honorable Raila would have worked with President Moi, who had detained him for 9 years? He did. Whoever imagined the Honorable Raila would sit in the same government as Prime Minister to President Kibaki after the 2007 vicious political contest? And he did. Whoever imagined the Right Honorable Raila Odinga would have a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta, our former president? And he did. Whoever imagined the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga would sit with President William Ruto after the last contest in 2022, that he was bruising and vicious, and he did. He's an example for all of us to emulate, that a political contest is not enmity. A political contest should not divide our country. A political contest should only be an opportunity to give wananchi to decide who of us should lead. And at the end of it all, the winner should never exalt him or herself, and the loser should never feel vanquished. We all come back together and remember, like Raila always did, that we have no spare country. We have only one Kenya, and everybody has a duty, a patriotic duty, to contribute to the well-being of our nation. You will find Honorable Raila in Burma, taking porridge with the ordinary people. You would find Honorable Raila in the Hilton, eating caviar with the mighty. That was the great man he was. And I encourage you, young politicians, emulate this, and our country will go places. Emulate this, and our country will spring from a developing country to a developed country. The ball is in our court. Rome was never built in a day, but the Romans were there to build it. Kenya cannot be built in a day, but Kenyans are there to build it. And you have been given the rare privilege at this time in our history to be the leaders of our country. Let's lead from the front. Let's show good examples, And let's emulate the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, that in your heart there is no space for malice, there's no space for hatred, there's no space for vitriol, there's no space for cheap and unhelpful politics. There's only space for Kenya. Honorable members, in honor of, pardon? Take your seats. Take the nearest seats. Yeah? Take the nearest seat, honorable members. Honorable Soro, you are missing in action. Yes, I was telling everybody, all members, that let's be each other's keeper. Let's love each other. Let's love our people. Bob Marley said, know people, feel people, love people. That is what makes society. Know people, feel people, love people. That is the great Bob Marley. And that is the Kenya we want. As I finish, honorable members, in honor of his selfless service and immense contribution to the Republic, I once again request that we all rise and observe a moment of silence in memory of the late Raila Amolo Odinga, the enigma of Kenyan politics, a visionary leader, and a true son of our land. I believe Chinua Achebe had people like Raila in mind when he said, a wise man standing on the ground will see further than an idiot standing on top of a tree. And indeed, he saw further than many, many, many people. May the good Lord rest his soul in peace. Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga is dead. Long live. Thank you. I will now give you direction as follows, honorable members. The mover of this motion will have 10 minutes. The seconder will have 10 minutes. Your leaders, when they come, will have 20 minutes each. Each member will have 5 minutes to speak. You can exhaust your 5 minutes. You can spend less. Every member at the end of the day will have an opportunity to speak because we have selected the whole day for this. And Honorable Wario, member for Bura, is it? For Garsen, we agreed to some dress code for today. Didn't we? Yes. You are the odd man out. You are the stranger in Parliament today. Call the next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Okay.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements. Order number 8, exceptional motion, tributes of the House.
Thank you. Owen Bayer, you have 10 minutes to move the motion.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that following the presidential proclamation issued on 15th October 2025 regarding the passing on of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, EGH, the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 259D1, the tributes of this House be recorded in honor of the late former Prime Minister's contribution in this House, his selfless service to the Republic and the continent of Africa, and for his role in promoting democracy, peace, and stability in Kenya and the region. Honorable Speaker, on my own behalf and on my own family and the people of Kilifi North constituency, and indeed on behalf of the members of this House, convey our deepest and most heartfelt condolences to the family of the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga following his demise. Honorable Speaker, in mourning the great Right Honorable Raila Odinga, I want to paraphrase the words of John Quincy Adams, the 6th President of the United States of America, and say this: Raila Odinga's actions inspired this nation to do more, to be more, to learn more, and to become more. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was a leader for all Kenyans, even those who did not believe in him. He was a warrior for Kenya. He was our Mandela. Honorable Speaker, you may recall when Mandela was released from prison, he shook hands with his jailers and served in the same government with his jailers. It's the same spirit with which the Honorable Raila Odinga took every time there was a contest, a fierce contest in this country. But every time, those who ridiculed him, those who said words about him, but every time we ended an election, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga sat with the same people and steered this country towards the next level. And that was the man, Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila personified liberation, justice, and the rule of law, epitomized by the coming into force of the new constitution, and that he believed in constitutionality because that's what he thought and believed that this country should be governed on the principles of constitutionalism. In all these warrior accolades, Honorable Speaker, he remained charismatic, approachable, inclusive, mortal, and a remarkable family man, Honorable Speaker. If you had a chat with the Honorable Raila Odinga for as many hours as you will, but in his talk, he will always speak about his family, highly about his family, and say that he's a man, that he is who he was because his family stood by him. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga had a higher purpose for his life. And in that trait, Honorable Speaker, that higher purpose for his life, he picked very many people here from nowhere, Honorable Speaker, and created leaders out of them, Honorable Speaker. A lot of the members of parliament that sit here today, and even former members, Honorable Speaker, owe it to Raila Amolo Odinga that they are here, Honorable Speaker. And that is something we cannot take away from him. Yours truly here, Honorable Speaker. Raila Odinga picked me from my university lecture room. I knew nothing about politics. I didn't even aspire to be a politician. But when I met him, and he encouraged me, and I feared running for a political post, but he encouraged me. Today, I am the leader that my people can depend on because Raila Amolo Odinga made me who I am today. Honorable Speaker, many of us, as we sit here, the same hallowed chamber that the Honorable Raila Odinga sat many years, remember his debates, his contribution, his fierce contests in these chambers, not for himself, not for what he wanted for himself, but what he wanted and inspired for this nation, to make Kenya a great nation. As he lies in state today, and he lies in state in these honorable chambers, Honorable Speaker, we mourn a great man. a man whose spirit, whose life story, Honorable Speaker, describes what Kenya is. And the up and hills, and the hills that this country has gone through, Honorable Speaker, and the progress that we have made as a country can only be described in one statement: we owe it to Raila Amolo Odinga. Finally, Honorable Speaker, I would like to mourn the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga using the words of Elton John on his song, Goodbye England Rose. And I want to say this: goodbye Kenyan Rose. May you ever grow in our hearts. You are the grace that blessed where lives were torn apart. You called out to our country and you whispered to those in pain. Now you belong to heaven and the stars spell out your name. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never fading with the sunset. When the rain set in, and your footsteps will always fall here. Along Kenya's greenest hills, your candles burned out long before your legend ever will. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and ask the Honorable Gesairo to second.
Gesairo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, today we sit here mourning the loss of the father of the second liberation, a man who fought for the constitution that we have today, the freedoms that we enjoy today, the freedom of speech, freedom of expression that we have today, carries the name of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Honorable Speaker, Raila Amolo Odinga was a man of courage, a man who spoke for what he believed, who walked the talk, and ensured that he gave the rest of the country confidence that there is a better Kenya that is coming. Honorable Speaker, Raila Amolo Odinga was a man who spoke without speaking, a man who led without uttering a word. He was truly an enigma. He always re-emerged when everyone thought that he was down, when everyone thought that he had been vanquished. Baba had a way of coming back.
Have you read a poem by Art Garfunkel called The Sound of Silence?
Not yet, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Raila Amolo Odinga believed in constitutionalism, doing what is right. He believed in fairness. When I became elected as a member of parliament, Honorable Speaker, and I managed to construct my private office in my constituency, I was looking for someone to commission it. Honorable Speaker, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga did agree and honored me to commission it. He did come with Mama Ida. That day, I got to learn a lot about the man Raila Amolo Odinga. He is a man who had the history of this country at his fingertips. As I sat with him in his car, as we drove from where he landed in Mocheno in Kitutu Masaba to Keroka, down Keumbu to Kisii town, the people who came just to have us look at a man who had not even invited them just told me the story of the man, why everybody was touched by him. People loved him. And this country today has lost a person millions of Kenyans, and Kenya as a whole, believed in. A person who spoke, who was their voice, and who fought for them when they felt like they had lost hope. Honorable Speaker, I wouldn't want to speak much because It was a shock to all of us yesterday when we got this news that Baba was no more. It left most of us wondering, what next? Where next? But we're sure that the many sons and daughters he raised politically will carry on the great deeds, the fighting spirit, the vision he had for this country. On behalf of my family, the people of Kitutu Masaba, and myself, I convey our message of condolences to the Odinga family, to the ODM family, and Kenyans as a whole for losing a man who believed in us, who believed in this country. As Baba rests, those of us who remain should carry forth his spirit of fighting for equality, transparency, and a dream of a better Kenya for us, our children, and the generations to come. Honorable Speaker, I thank you and I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question at order number 8, which is that following the presidential proclamation on 15 October 2025 regarding the passing on of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga AGH, the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 259D1, the tributes of this House be recorded in honor of the late former Prime Minister's contribution in this House, his selfless service to the Republic of Kenya and the continent of Africa, and for his role in promoting democracy, peace, and stability in Kenya and the region. Before I give the next speaker, allow me, there's some urgent business, to go back to orders numbers 5 and 6 for the Honorable, is Chepkonga here, or is it Owen Baya who is Chepkonga? Who? Kishimo. Yes, to lay some urgent paper on the table and give notice of motion. So call out order number 5.
Order number 5, papers.
Bishimo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and on behalf of the Chairman, Committee on Delegated Registration, Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 16th October 2025. Report of the Committee on Delegated Registration on its consideration of 1. The Petroleum Business Licensing and Petroleum Logistics Facilities Construction Permit Regulations 2025, legal notice number 95 of 2025. 2. The Petroleum Licensing or Petroleum Road Transportation Business Regulations 2025, legal notice number 96 of 2025. 3. The Petroleum Operating of Common Petroleum Facilities Regulations 2025, legal notice number 97 of 2025. 4. The Petroleum Information and Statistics Regulation 2025, legal notice number 98 of 2025. 5. The Petroleum Lubricants Facility Construction and Licensing Regulation 2025, legal notice number 99 of 2025. 6. The Petroleum Retail Dispensing Site Construction and Licensing Regulations 2025, legal notice number 100 of 2025.